Hello friends, this is Daniel and today we are going to have a lot of fun. We are going to create our own non-fungible token contract using the framework of the ERC 1155, which is a very flexible smart contract with which you can create non-fungible and fungible tokens. Today we are going to use the NFT functions of this contract to create our own infinity stones. For doing this, we are going to leverage Moralis because there is something here that we need to provide, which is the characteristics of the NFTs that we are creating. That's a set of metadata. For example, we have to let people know which one is the time stone, which one is the soul stone, the reality stone, the power stone, the mind stone, or the tesseract. All of that information is going to live in some database, and for doing that, you need to have a cloud service and create your own database, and you need to be quite technical to be able to deal with those things. But thanks to Moralis, you can have that data created very easily and keep it in the Moralis server. Then you can access it with a very easy API. The details on that, we're going to see them later in the video. We are going to deploy this contract in the Binance Smart Chain testnet. This will require two steps. First, we're going to set up our network, and then we are going to review our smart contract and deploy it. Hope that you enjoy it. Let's get to it. The code for this project is in the GitHub repository that you can find in the description of the video. As a first step, we need to configure our network. So for doing that, you do Brownie networks add Binance Smart Chain, which is the classificator for the type of network that we're adding, BSC test Moralis, which is the ID that I'm given to this network, and then the host. And the host is something that you're going to get from Moralis. You go to Moralis, sign up, and you're going to get access to the spinning node service. You go to BSC, testnet, copy the link, and this is the link that you will have to paste here. You add a name for your network, which is something that it's a best practice. The chain ID, which for the Binance Smart Chain testnet is 97. And the Explorer, which is something that we are getting here from BSC scan. Then after you have done that, you paste it and it will be available for you. Now that you have executed this command, and if you have done it correctly in your Brownie environment, when you do Brownie networks list, you are going to see the following. After you paste this command correctly and execute it, you are going to see the following when you do Brownie networks list. Here we have it, BSC test Moralis. So now we have access to the network and we can use it for our deployments. Time to review our contract. Our contract is a very simple implementation of the ERC 1155 standard. As you can see here, the first two lines are just license identifiers, and the pragma line, which identifies our proper compiler. Then the other one is an import statement, which is importing the contract template from OpenZeppelin repository. And to have that one available is very easy. You just do Brownie pm install, and you install this part from here to here. That will make this contract available to you. Then if you do it correctly, when you do Brownie pm list, you are going to see this package here. What we're doing here to create the infinity stones is very simple. We are just creating a couple of constants here that each constant represents an infinity stone. And we're using these to create actually the IDs of each of the infinity stones. So we have 6 infinity stones, so we have constants from 0 to 5, and we assign the constant the name of the infinity stone. When we actually deploy the contract, our constructor is taking the following parameters. Since this constructor is inheriting from this ERC 1155, we need to send the parameters that that constructor takes. And for that is taking a string, but that string is actually a URL. And according to the definition of this standard, that URL is going to be the one that will contain all the metadata about the NFTs that you are creating. In our case, the Infinity Stones. This is something that usually is an API that you will have in some server that will contain descriptions of that specific NFT that you're creating, what is its name, what are its properties, and a lot of different things, right? For doing that, you might need to have a database in a server and maybe pay AWS or something like that. But thankfully, you have Moralis. You go to your server. In your server, you go to your dashboard. And in your dashboard, you can create classes. And that's what I did. I create my class of Infinity Stones and I populate all of their name, their color, their power, and gave them an ID as well. Moralis also offers you an API console where you can actually filter your classes. So I can do classes, Infinity Stones, and send a query, and I will get all my Infinity Stones here. I can apply filters. I use this filter, which is in this case where ID equal 0, but you send it here as a JSON object, and then you can get these results. Once you have these queries set for whatever class you want to use, you export the curve. This URI should be different for each of the NFTs that you are creating. In this case, each Infinity Stone should have a specific string that is dynamic, and that will change according to which NFT you are talking about. And this is something that the contract from OpenZeppelin will do for you. In this case, also for utilizing the Moralis infrastructure, you will need to put a wrapper on top of it to basically manage the queries inside and build an API that is external, not internal, that will be facing the public or the web, that will give you the views to each of the different data of the Infinity Stones. That's besides the scope of this video, but if you leave us a comment, I will show you how to do it later on. After that, what I'm doing is just initializing a minting of each of the Infinity Stones and assign it to the message sender, which in this case is whoever deployed the contract. So that will be our Thanos. The 1155 contract, it's created in order that you can support several types of NFTs. So actually you could mint more than one of a specific token, and that will make it fungible. For example, if I have Iron Man armor, I want to mint 4 of them, one for Falcon, let's say, and one for Roddy, I could do that. And that will be a fungible representation, not a non-fungible as the Infinity Stones, which are one of each in the universe. So that's it for the analysis of the contract. Let's get to the deployment and the practical part. To deploy, you need to create an account. And for that one, you do Brownie, accounts, new, the name of your account. Then Brownie is going to ask you for your private key, which is something that you don't have to give to anyone. So I'm not going to show you all the steps, but you put your private key, then Brownie is going to ask you for a password. You have to memorize that password, and then you will refer to this account that you're creating with the alias that you're giving it at this moment. So for reviewing that I have it available, I do Brownie, accounts, list, and when you have created your account correctly, you are going to see it appear here. Once you have done that, then you are ready to proceed to your deployment. To deploy, we need to enter our network, in this case, Binance Smart Chain testnet. So we do the following: Brownie, console, network, BSC, test, Moralis, and we are in. Now we need to have access to our account, so we're going to do the following. We're going to create an account object. So we're going to do account is equal to accounts load, and we load our account, which in my case is called testing account. I put my password here, and I have my account object. Now that I have done that one, then I have access to the functions of my contract with the account that I just unloaded. So let's do it. We do infinity gems deploy, and for the deployment we are going to make use of the account that we just loaded. So we're going to do from our account object. So we deploy, it's coming, we wait for our confirmation, and we got it back. Now that we have this one ready, we can access our contract in the deployment index. So we do infinity gems deployment 0, and now we can check the specific balances. So we can do balance of, and I can put account that address and what index I want to get. Let's say that I want to check how many soul stones I have. So I do index 2, and will tell me that I have 1. How many space stone I have 1 as well. It also points us to the link where our metadata is stored, right? So for that we do URI, and we have to populate with one of the indexes. So let's put index 0, which is the space stone, and is returning me here my URL for Moralis. We need to get the data from the space stone from Moralis, right? I already have the specific query that we need to run, and is here for the number 1, which was the time stone. So let's paste it here, and this is something that you can get from Moralis when you go to the API settings. I get the number 1. Now it's back, and I get it. So the time, the color is green, and its power is control of time. Then I can do another query where ID equal, let's say, the power stone, which is 5, and then we do an enter here, and we get our data back, which is that the color of the stone is purple, its name is the power stone, and it has absolute power to destroy planets. These are NFTs, so you can sell it to your friends or sell it in-game. So guys, this is how you create the most powerful objects in the universe as NFTs, leveraging Moralis and Open Zeppelin contracts. I hope that you like the video. Smash that like and subscribe to our channel.